Just like regular sports, the world of esports is full of cheaters. And with the rise of online gaming tournaments and streaming platforms like Twitch, some gamers exploit these cheats to help them score a quick win. But it takes just one wrong click to completely expose them and bring their little gaming empires to their knees. So, let's take a look at some hackers, liars, and dim-witted cheaters who got caught on camera trying to play the system. Miss Q Gemini. Now, cheating in video games isn't a crime, but the way streamer Miss Q Gemini tried to cover up her blatant cheating absolutely was. This young, ambitious game regularly streamed herself playing the ferociously competitive Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO for short, which is an online first-person shooter game. However, back in 2017, her stream with a huge rant about how she's fairly accused of cheating.
You know what's really sad? That sometimes, because I'm female and counter cheating.
Way to tell off those pesky trolls. But then, during this warm-up phase, she seemed to forget that the whole world sees her screen, and she brought up a software menu. After hitting the load coding button, all of her rivals' ranks and suddenly began appearing through the walls. For the of you who don't play CSGO, I can tell you now, this ain't normal. It's called a wall hack, which allows players to locate their opponent's solid objects in the game's arena. Hacks like this are a sneaky way of gaining the upper hand in multiplayer shooter games, and Miss U Gemini's viewers were quick to pick up on it. But blissfully unaware she'd been caught, she continued to play and, even worse, lose. And it's at that point she finally realized what she'd done, as you can see from her facial expressions.
Vacation rentals on Booking.com opens the door to more guests, like this bunch. These lovebirds. Or this.
After being caught red-handed, you'd think this would be the time to fess up, right? Well, take a listen to the cringy excuses that start falling out of her mouth.
You guys, do you guys ever get that weird glitch in CS:GO where it shows your rank? It shows everyone's rank. Clara, give me one second. Clara, message this girl. Give me 1 second. She promised me she didn't use it on my PC. I'm fucking done. This is what happens when you use your PC. Can't trust,
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Clara that we watched load the cheat code at the beginning of this game. After that, guiltily abandoned the match, and her CSGO account was eventually slapped with an anti-cheat. But following massive backlash from the streaming community, her Twitch account also disappeared soon after, along with any chance she ever had of making it as a pro gamer. Maybe she should have tried playing a game where you don't need to cheat to win, like this video's Raid Shadow Legends. This free-to-play RPG is a dark fantasy phenomenon that's available to download on mobile and on PC. With hundreds of artifacts and over 500 champions, you can build elite warriors and create a unique team to play however you want. No cheating required. Hit the links down in the description to download it today and join me in this console-quality World of Warfare. I mean, who doesn't want this high-elf battle sage on their side with damage buffs that can't be stripped? Or the legendary Astrolon, whose attack stats are almost as impressive as his armor. And this month, Raid just dropped 11 brand new champions and 200 fresh missions, which have a legendary champion as a reward. Like that wasn't enough, they've also added 5 new levels to almost every in-game dungeon. How cool is that? With so much going on, there's never been a better time to get started. Be sure to hit the links in the description below, and I'll see you in-game. But for now, let's get back to more cheaters caught in action. Forsaken. When it comes to cheating CSGO, say no player has ever been more humiliated than Nikhil Forsaken Kumawat. During the Extremes Land Zowie Asia tournament in 2018, Forsaken was competing as part of the Pro East team Optic India. They entered into the top CSGO tournament, which had a pool of $100,000. But as Forsen was playing, someone reported him for an administrator was at first Forsaken boldly refused access to his but after they asserted their position, they probed in setup and discovered a program running in the background. And Forsaken unbelievably batted their hands away and tried to delete it in front of their eyes. Stunned, the administrators disqualified Forsaken on the spot, and the entire Optic India team was booted from the event. When they finally got a good look at Forsaken's terminal, they discovered the illegal aimbots he'd been desperately trying to delete. These are hacks that provide easier target acquisition for players and are expressly prohibited by CSGO. But what made it worse was that they'd been axed multiple times, meaning he'd in many different matches in order to get his hands on that prize. Called by his actions, Forsaken was handed a full 5-year ban from the esports intelligence. The pro player was also booted from his team, but in the overwhelmingly embarrassing aftermath, Optic India was altogether. Now, even if your aim is as bad as Forsaken's, you don't need an aimbot to hit those subscribe buttons down below. Good, prove that you're better than that cheater ever will be. Now, where Tavo Betancourt. Have you ever heard of speedrunning before? It's where players record themselves racing to complete levels or entire games as fast as humanly possible. And some of these times are so fast, they're only separated by the split second of a button push. It's not the most well-known style of gameplay, but because the community is made up of passionate nerds, like speed was serious business. And that's why YouTuber Tavo Betancourt came under heavy fire when Mexican channel uploaded his insane Super Mario Bros. Speedrun back in 20. He effortlessly through the entire game, completing it in a respectable 5 minutes and 12 seconds. While this run earned him plenty of online views, some serious problems. First, the attempt was just minutes long. Tavo took the time to guzzle down Coke and pizza as he was playing. Surely, if he were taking this seriously, he could have waited 5 minutes to have his dinner, right? Secondly, the game counters suspiciously didn't match what was happening in the footage. Like here, where Tavo collects 11 coins, but the counter curiously increases by 12. It was clear that Tavo had stolen someone's speedrun footage and mashed it with a different counter so that it wasn't too obvious he'd stolen it. But this minor mistake didn't escape the attention of real speedrunners. They tracked down the original footage and revealed that it had been recently from world records speedrunner Darbian. And when the Tavo was crucified online. He later admitted what he'd done and apologized, claiming it was just part of a social experiment. Lame excuses aside, it's pretty clear that this was just done for clout, seeing how, despite his apology, his run up on Patapun's channel. Although now, I reckon it'll take more for Tavo to out his ruined reputation. Super fast jellyfish. The impossibly precise button presses and memory required for speedrunning are insane difficult to master, which by blindfolded speedrunning is even more mind-blowing. Just using audio cues and there quickly as possible with once looking at their stuttering, most people couldn't even get start menu blindfolded. This is some god tier. So when unknown game Super Fast Jellyfish streamed his blindfolded speedrun of Super Mario's, the speedrunning community was stunned, but not in a good way. First, there are only 3 certified blindfolded streamers who have submitted their times into this, ranging from 20